come of bad luck. Just comes my way wherever I go. Hard luck is there to stay. Good luck never stays a day. Bad luck's always coming my way.
Right now I'm standing on San Fernando Road underneath the Interstate 5 overpass. This right here is where the opening shots of Halloween 3, Season of the Witch took place. Right there at about the center of your screen is where Harry Grimbridge would have been running. Man, this is blowing me away. It's kind of a dangerous spot to be standing, to be honest, but it happened right here. Harry Grimbridge would have ran right past where I am to the junkyard, which is what I'm looking at right now. I'm gonna try really hard not to get hit by a car. But show you what I can. We can't get onto the property. It's been closed. And look, well, it looks like it's been closed for quite some time. But this is it. Well, a lot has definitely changed, and there's absolutely no way of getting inside this property or inside this building. It is no longer a gas station. The gas pumps are gone. But after Grimbridge escapes the junkyard, he runs here. And we're greeted with a silver Shamrock commercial, and he bursts through the door after the power goes out, and he falls to the ground. He collapses, clutching the pumpkin mask, and he says, "They're coming, they're coming." It all happened right here.
8 more days to Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 8 more days to Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
They're coming. They're coming.
As we walk the fence between the cars, this is also where towards the end of the movie, where Tom Atkins, Chalice's character, comes running down the street towards where I am right now. And you see that stone wall that's over there about the center of your screen, just behind the fence? You can see that as he's running this way into the building.
Your phone, where's it's life and death?
Now this is very interesting. For the most part, the building hasn't changed. It looks exactly as it did on that rainy night in Halloween 3. But you see those 2 windows in the front? Those are still the same. I mean, they've been updated, but between those, there was a doorway there. That was the entrance to the building. Now it's off to the side.
Hey, don't I know you?
Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween.
Please, you just... No, I can't prove it. You've got to believe me. Believe me. Take it off the air now, please. You've got to. It makes sense.
happy, happy Halloween, Halloween.
Please excuse the interruption. We're having technical problems. Please stand by.
It's time. It's time.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Take off the third channel. The third channel. It's still running. Stop it, please. For God's sake, please stop it. There's no more time. You've got to... Please, stop it. Stop it now. Turn it off. Turn it off. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Next up on our Halloween 3 filming locations tour brings us to the Buccaneer Lounge in Sierra Madre. This is the bar where Dr. Chalice is having a cocktail when he's watching TV and he sees the commercial for Halloween as well as Silver Shamrock novelties, and he states he has no Halloween spirit. The scene opens up with about this shot right here, Friday the 29th. Chalice is sitting at the bar and it begins. The camera angle changes to behind the bar with Chalice sitting right here, and you can see those two paintings behind him on the wall, but in the movie Halloween 3 they were reversed. Today, they're still the same ones, just on opposite sides. He's sitting here having a cocktail, watching cartoons, and he asks him to change the channel to put on something else.
Hey, Charlie, can we have another station? You got it.
Now he would have been sitting over here at the center of the bar, about the center of your screen. Now you see that TV on the left-hand side of the bar? Well, in Halloween 3, the television would have been over here, about the center of the giant mural on the wall, just beyond the cash register. Now the bartender changes the channel and we're greeted to a commercial for the immortal classic, the original John Carpenter's Halloween, and then, followed by the giveaway, we're greeted with a Silver Shamrock commercial.
The immortal classic, followed by the big giveaway at 9. Brought to you by...
Now this is very comical because he's sitting here watching the commercial and he says, "Come on, come on, come on." Obviously frustrated, the bartender asks him, "What's the matter? Don't you have any Halloween spirit?" And he says, "No." Very curtly, "No."
Come on. What's the matter? Don't you have any Halloween spirit? No.
Now here's a little piece of history that nobody really seems to be talking about, especially whenever they come to visit the Halloween 3 filming locations. Yes, this is the Buccaneer Lounge, the same business, the same company that Dr. Chalice was sitting and drinking his cocktail. But here's the thing, here's the real kicker. The movie Halloween 3 Season of the Witch came out in 1982. At the time, the Buccaneer Lounge wasn't located here. Instead, it was located in a building that at one point was known as Club 60. This is address number 70, which means the original Buccaneer Lounge where they filmed Halloween 3 is a couple doors down. Now the Buccaneer Lounge as it stands today in 2021 is right there. But back in 1982 up until 1984, the address was a couple doors down. Now, over time things have changed. But this right here, this wine tasting building, this is address 60, which is originally Club 60. A lot has changed, but this is it. What stands in the original location of the Buccaneer Lounge is now known as the Bottle Shop, and it's been here for quite some time. Basically, right where I am standing, you see that red support beam? This, right where I'm standing, right in the center of your screen, imagine the wall being here. And this is where the Buccaneer, the pirate paintings would have been. Which means, almost right over where that green circle is on the floor, that's exactly where, well, as close as we're gonna get to where Chalice was sitting at the bar watching the TV and having his cocktail. There's the red support beam again. Just imagine a wall being right here. Crazy. Horror cinematic history. Now the guys working in the store were kind enough to give me a little lowdown about the history here. Now this is the building. We're standing right about here, but on the inside of this building. This was Club 60, which we know is where the Buccaneer Lounge used to be. This was the Buccaneer bar back in the day. You can see it says Buccaneer there. Now today, the current Buccaneer Lounge is over here, so you can see it's changed, but not that far, just a couple doors up. There's a scene in Halloween 3 when Tom Atkins' character, Daniel Chalice, is talking on the payphone to his wife, Linda. Now that payphone would have been right about the center of your screen, right on this little patio to this bar. Now we know this because towards the end of the scene, he hangs up with her and he walks across the little driveway here and gets into Stacy's car. Now we know this is the spot because you see that wooden structure that's now in the center of your screen? You can see that the entire time that this scene happens.
Linda, I can't get out of it. I'm really sorry. Nah, just a bunch of doctors talking about boring stuff. I gotta go. Bye.
Now what's really cool, about the center of your screen is where the payphones would have been, where Daniel Chalice was making the phone call to his wife. And the same exact shot and basically the same exact scene, the camera pans over this way and you start hearing the sounds and then you see the TVs in this window. This was the electronics store where the Silver Shamrock television commercial was playing. You would have seen all these TVs in there. Right now I'm standing on the side of the road that leads directly into Santa Mira, the home of Silver Shamrock novelties, which means basically where I'm standing right now is where the Welcome to Santa Mira sign would have been.
Irish Halloween masks.
California? You never know.
The shirt is a perfect fit. Thank you so much, DOA Co. We're thinking of you, man. We're thinking of you. Now we're going to come back to this in just a little bit, but as David and Ellie drive into Santa Mira, they pass this building right here, which was Rafferty Express Garage. And believe it or not, there was a sign out front that said $1.32 for gas here in California. And right next to it is the Rose of Shannon Motel, which is where they stay in the movie. And just like in Halloween 3, if you look just above the roof there, there's the Silver Shamrock Novelty Warehouse. How cool is that? I do want to point out the railroad tracks to the right of the screen because right now I'm standing on Railroad Street. Now in the movie, David and Ellie pull into town right on this street right here. And as they come down it, they pass a series of buildings. Now you see these bushes. In the movie, there was a building that said Dublin Inn, and then there was another one right next to it. Those are long gone. But as I pan down the street, you're going to start seeing these buildings might look familiar. But what's really cool is as David and Ellie roll through Santa Mira, all these people are looking out the windows at them because they're strangers. And there's one scene where there's a man in a suit staring at them, watching them from an alleyway. That alleyway is right there behind that door, that wooden door. Now this building right here, you see that storefront? There was a scene that took place in there with a really cool display of the Halloween 3 Season of the Witch masks.
Papa really loved this place, but business was getting bad. I suppose you shopped at the new mall like everybody else, huh? The kids were keeping him going. They'd come in after school. He'd let them play with the stuff right in the aisles like I used to when I was little.
Hey, wait a second. This church is pretty unique looking, which is awesome because you can see it pretty much the entire time that they drive through town. It's still here, and it still looks unique. I can't tell you how many times we visit filming locations, and it just blows my mind. What you're looking at right now, if you know the movie Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, you know that this is the Silver Shamrock Novelties Factory. There would have been a sign right up here and a giant shamrock right up there. This is what it looks like today. drastically different than back when they made Halloween 3. It's abandoned, it's run down, people have been breaking into it. But we got permission, and we're gonna go inside.
I'm not ready for this. We need a plan.
Okay, how about this? We get back to that gas station, see if they know anything. We could pose as a couple of buyers, maybe rent a couple of rooms in that motel.
I feel severely unprepared. I wish that I had the Trick-or-Treat Studios masks with me right now to get a picture here. And they just released new ones. They're glow in the dark, which I think we need to get them. Right now they're on pre-order. I think they need to be ours, especially after visiting the Silver Shamrock Novelties warehouse. Does it get any cooler than this? I was talking to some of the folks who live here in this town, and they said that a lot of people come here and they break into this building and they climb to the roof. I'm gonna tell you right now, standing here, if I saw somebody up there on the roof, especially dressed in a suit, I'd probably lose my gourd. You know what, to be honest, if I lived here, I'd probably do it every single day. I'd be that guy. Wouldn't you? One of the neighbors said that this place has been on the market for quite some time. In fact, there's a sign on the side of the building that's a commercial. You know, if you want to buy it, go ahead and contact this number. But he said that a lot of interest in the building over the years, but I guess at one point, one of the owners that used to own this place, I should say, dumped a bunch of oil in the back, in the ground. So this is California, so the environmental cleanup would be astronomical. So people want to buy it, and then they hear about the oil spill in the back, and then they pass on it, which is sad. The neighbor said he has no idea what's going to happen to this place. And I don't know. It's still here. It's kind of sad, the state that it's in. Who knows how long it's going to be here until it's gone. Halloween 3.
Oh, I want a mask. Can I have a mask?
Just what I had in mind for you, little buddy.
I want that one. Whoa.
There you are.
Wonderful.
For safety reasons, I'm not going to go inside the building. Instead, I'm just going to walk around the grounds, which is fine because the main scene that I want to see that took place here is the final processing and the loading dock scenes. You can match up the shots, and it's actually really cool. Now, in this scene, they would have come out these doors right here, and you can see this entire area, including those windows in the background, as they walk right down this loading dock area.
Hey, Mr. Cochran, just what is the final processing?
I'm sure it's just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Quality inspection, the seal of approval, you know, the usual. And of course, a couple of trade secrets.
All this graffiti is insane. But the hallway to the final processing room, just wait till you see this. Is right here.
Trade secrets.
Oh, I'd sure love to take a look.
Sorry.
Not even a peek for your best salesman?
Oh, just one little look.
Well, you see, part of the inspection process involves volatile chemicals, very dangerous. Sure, I wouldn't want to put anybody in any danger.
Oh, sure, I understand.
Now, of course, in the movie, the room really isn't there. It's just the hallway that they chose to film. But this is it. I know the room isn't back there, but I have to see for myself. So right above the opening, the door, there had been a white sign with red letters that said final processing. I wish it was still here. This is it. Old steps that go up. As well as a room back there. Now I can see holes in the floor, and judging by the shape of these steps, I am not going back there, just for my own safety. Plus there's nothing to see, it's just a hallway. So let's go ahead and turn right back around. the final processing hallway from Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Every time we visit these filming locations like this, I always tell myself, man, I never thought in a million years that I would be able to visit this. And who knows how long this building is still going to stand before they tear it down. Kind of blowing my mind right now. Here, take a look down here.
It's very valuable to me, you know. Your opinion has always meant a great deal to us over the last few years.
Thank you, sir.
Where's little buddy?
Oh, there he is running down. Into everything, always.
One of the guys in suits would have been standing right about there. Seeing some familiar faces, Tom Atkins grabs his pretend wife and says, I think it's time to go. And they walk right this way.
What's up?
I just saw a couple of men who looked strangely familiar. And there's another one.
And what's cool is as they're walking, you start seeing guys, the men in suits. And there's a building right over here. And you see this doorway right there? There's one of them standing right in that doorway.
They look an awful lot like the man who killed your father.
This building, not only is it where one of the men in suits were, but behind that bush, it's so overgrown right now, there's a garage door. And that's where Papa's car is.
Oh my God!
What?
That's Papa's car!
Wait, Ellie, don't.
Immediately after the men in suits preventing Ellie from getting to Papa's car, the camera turns over this way, and you see the woman and the kid standing right about here. And there's windows in the background.
Trade secrets.
And then the very next scene, I'm going to call this the trade secret scene. You see the two guys standing here on the loading dock, and you see up there on the roof that light fixture. That light fixture can be seen, as well as that pipe that's just behind it, and that little knuckle right there.
Trade secrets.
A lot has definitely changed over the years. This street right here goes down to the loading docks of what would have been the Silver Shamrock novelty factory. But there's a scene where a truck bearing the Silver Shamrock insignia, the symbol, the logo, drives right up this way, and you see this side of the building. Even though some things have changed, it still looks pretty identical. Immediately after the truck pulls away, there's a man in a suit up in that window, and you see a Silver Shamrock wall clock on the wall, but he's looking out the window, and what he's looking at is directly across the street. David and Ellie park their car right over here by this building. You can see it used to have an awning right there in the front, but it's no longer there. They park the car and they walk over to the building. Again, so much has changed, but here's a closer shot of that building and the wood. You can line it up. It's neat that it's still here and it looks like that. I wish it still had the awning though.
Happy, happy Halloween, 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 happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock. Happy, happy Halloween,
Now it's almost time, kids, for trick-or-treating, that is. This house right here was the establishing shot for the trick-or-treating scenes in Halloween 3. This was Dayton, Ohio. Now at the time of filming, it was a one-story house. An addition has been made, the second story, but this is it.
It's almost time, kids. The clock is ticking.
The trick-or-treating segment that took place in New York was filmed right here in this building that's behind me, and I'm going to show you the windows in just a minute. Now, online, I've noticed that a lot of people go to the wrong location. This is the right one, and you can line it up by the windows. You'll see what I mean. This entire scene was filmed on the second floor of this building, and if you look very closely over the kids' shoulders as they're standing there at the counter checking out, you can see those windows and the curves at the very top of them. I reached out to the owners of the building. Sadly, they're not here today. Left my number, left my contact information, let them know exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to get up there on that second floor and try to line up shots. But just in case they say no, well, at least I was here. This is the right building, not the one that's about two blocks down. Now here's a little update about the second floor of this building where they filmed one of the scenes from the trick-or-treating montage from Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. The owners, they got back to me and they agreed to let me upstairs to film very quickly what it looks like now compared to what it did back in 1982. Again, this is gonna be very quick because they're preparing for a class because now it's a fitness center. But back in 1982, this building used to be a toy store. Makes sense. And just a real quick shot up here on the second floor. You see those two windows in the center of your screen? This is the room. This is almost the exact angle where this scene took place. I'm standing right behind the counter. Just to the left of me would have been the pumpkin mask, well, the display for the Halloween mask. Silver Shamrock novelties.
In front of your TV sets for the horror-thon. And remember the big giveaway at 9. Don't miss it. And don't forget to wear your masks. The clock is ticking. It's almost time.
Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock. Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
Now keep in mind this is a nighttime scene, but even with the darkness, you can see this curved wall off to the left. The backside of that stop sign in the center of your screen, that light post right across the street there, and this was the real kicker. Now in this scene, you can see the silhouettes of some houses. Now I thought those houses were on this street, when in fact, they're actually up on the hillside, right about there. Now what's really cool about this scene, a Silver Shamrock van comes right around this corner.
It's almost time. All those lucky kids with Silver Shamrock masks, hurry home for the big giveaway. It's almost time. Hurry home.
And this is a perfect example as to how things change so much over the years. This intersection, this hillside, this was the Phoenix, Arizona trick-or-treating nighttime scene from Halloween 3. Now a lot has changed, but you see that lamppost in about the center of your screen? You can see that lamppost in this shot. And just beyond that, behind that fence, is a house that wasn't there when they made the movie. The other lamppost that can be seen in the background is just behind that. Towards the end of the movie, Ellie and Dr. Chalice are driving right down this road and he's saying, "Hey, gotta do something, we gotta do something." And he asks Ellie if she's all right, and then she turns and attacks him. And they drive off this road onto a bit of a dirt road, which is now a park.
Gotta do something, call somebody, huh? Ellie, you all right?
Not sure how well this is going to translate to camera, but just above that little embankment right there, that's the street that Chalice and Ellie were driving on whenever she ultimately attacks him. Now keep in mind, this was all 1982. Now, in about the center of your screen, you're going to see that pathway. back in '82, Halloween 3, this is the direction that Chalice and Ellie would have been coming in that car when they veer off the road because she attacks them. Now, real quickly, if you pay attention, you're gonna see this tree. It's very distinct, it's still here, but as they pass it, right about there in the center of your screen, this is where the tree was that Chalice crashes into. It's no longer here, it's gone, it's now a park, but it's here. Again, as a reminder, all this happened in 1982 and things have changed so much. That tree is no longer here and instead it's a park, but this tree can definitely be seen real quickly as the car comes flying right past it, right before it crashes. And I mean, you can see it. It's still here. How cool is that?
Wherever I come, bad luck is coming my way. Wherever I go, hard luck is there to stay. Good luck never stays a day. A bad luck's always coming my way.